like Jim Harbaugh sprinkling his Harbaugh dust on it? What's your 2 cents?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about clear vision and plan of what you want it to look like, and then executing the vision and the plan. And this is something that really took place as soon as Jim got in the building. And then with Joe Ortiz there, I think they're on the same page in roster construction. Remember, Rich, it's not that long ago, everybody freaked out when you have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen leave the building. And they're like, just hang on, we've got a plan here. And they go out and get Joe Alt, who's 2 weeks now. It's been awesome. Rashawn Slater's fully healthy. He's been fantastic. They kick Trey Pipkins inside the guard. Now they have this massive offensive line. They're playing with 2 and 3 tight ends. They've converted a defensive lineman, a 300-pound Scott Matlock, to fullback. J.K. Dobbins looks like as good a running back as we have in the NFL right now through 2 weeks. So they have this vision. I told Money as we were finishing up the game yesterday, I said, how many Clark Kent games have we had with the Chargers since Herbert's been here? It feels like there's a lot of Superman games where Justin Herbert's got to throw for 450 and, shrug off tacklers and make unbelievable plays and kind of carry the team to victory. This is 2 weeks in a row now where he can be Clark Kent, and eventually it feels so much like your Michigan team last year, Rich, where it was like, is JJ McCarthy any good? And it's like, yeah, he is good, but they're gonna need him when they need him, and they're gonna find ways to win a bunch of games other ways. And then when those games rise, he's gonna be fresh and ready to go, and he'll deliver. I feel like that's the formula that they've just replicated here with the Chargers.
Well, since you opened the door, I'm gonna go straight in. And Jesse Minter's not getting the plays, is he, DJ? You know what I mean? Like he can coordinate a defense. This guy. Daniel.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
Right.
And look, Mack and Bosa both are off to great starts. They're very coordinated on the back end. They give you no cheapies. Let me back up and say that against the Raiders, who had, a fighting chance offensively, that's another conversation with where the Carolina Panthers are presently. But this is a very buttoned up defense that plays very hard. And to be honest with you, it's rested because the offense is bludgeoning the other team and keeping your defense fresh on the sideline.
Right. And listen, you've got to beat the teams that are on your schedule in front of you. And with the Steelers and Chiefs next for the Chargers, obviously there's some pudding and there'll be some proof and things of that nature. But you still have to beat the teams directly in front of you. And you've got in week 1, J.K. Dobbins coming to the fore. In week 2, Quentin Johnston, who was much maligned in his rookie season last year. And the Chargers against lesser opponents were chargering, and we didn't see much of that over the first 2 weeks. And I'm just wondering, I mean, Jim is kind of throwing that photo of him holding up the number 2 for 2-0 with his arm around Quentin Johnston. He seems to be throwing his arm around people. And then the stuff with Herbert where he wants to wear his shoes, like he asked for an actual pair of his shoes so he could wear it. Like, what is Jim up to, Daniel? What's he up to here?
I don't know if people, and you do, you know, because you know him. But I'll give you an example. I got in here Saturday night. So I didn't fly with the team this week. Stayed, I wanted to watch my son's high school game. So I get in Saturday night. I get into the hotel. I go right to the meal room. There are not many people in there because it's a little bit later at night. And it's Jim Harbaugh sitting there with Joey Bosa, just the two of them sitting at a table. I get my dinner. I'm hanging out watching some of the college football game that's on the TV in there. And they sat together for, while I was in there, probably 35 minutes, just the two of them. And Harbaugh, just connecting with one of his better players. You heard the soundbite from before they left on this trip where he said, "Hey, let's pack the board games." Well, I went in there last night after the game's over, and there's a bunch of the specialists in there. They're playing cards. I walked outside. There's a table with Uno cards on it out there. I mean, I'm like, it literally is. It's like, this is like camp. They have found a way to connect, and you want to use the analogy even of put your arms around these guys individually. People can laugh at that stuff and say whatever they want. I'm seeing it in real time. Like, there's a lot of connection that's taking place with this coaching staff and with this group of players. And Quentin Johnston's a fine example of someone who had lost his confidence somewhat last year, has come in and they've fueled him with confidence. And now you're seeing the